Hey guys, I'll be live in 1 minute. Let me just get you some cool music. Hold on. Music, and then I'll. Hold on. See if we can get this going. Really shouldn't be having this many issues in the morning, but we are. So, all right, 1 second, and that should work as far as. I got caught listening to Waller. So sorry for being late. Hold on, we can bond. Yay, bonding. I got caught listening to Waller, so it is what it is. Apologies, but let's get to it. I think the best place for us to start is just going to be off the open. And for me, I really think, let's go here and get to this. So, I really like how you're acting. I just am a little concerned about some things. I'll get into it in Saturday's video, but I do think, no, let's not do it this way. Let's just go to, you're going to give me this, or do I have it set up? There it is. I am a little concerned about some things. So you're kind of going sideways here, and this move higher on the 5, it's not really reflective in these, and it's bothering me. It's vexing me a little bit. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I do think it's something to pay attention to. I also just want to get into some of these levels, and then I will take a lot of questions this morning since I'm super late instead of me going off. But I do want to go through like just key levels on the indexes on both the SPY and on this. But my sense of this more than anything um, is that I think that you just kind of want to chill out a little bit. But if I take a look at this 5 minute and how you're acting, yeah, I think it's great. But I don't know. I just feel like there's something under the hood, and I'm starting to see cracks this morning, actually, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I really think they're your big levels today, and I don't know that you really need to pay attention to all this other little crap. I don't really know that you need to pay attention to this or here, but I'm going to put it in there as if you do. And then they would be my big levels. You could always just go out there and say, I got to watch this as well, put an alert there in case it does break out. My concern with this kind of stuff is that I'm always early. I always think that people see what I see and that they always go out there and then get involved when I get involved. And that's usually not the case. I usually am like super early with this stuff. Like when I think I'm going to see change in trend, and then I'm always. And when I say change in trend, I don't mean that you're going to fall out of bed. I mean that like they be your key levels. I don't think you need 10 of them here right now. I don't think you're going to need that either right now. I really think this level is much more important. See how you fought it? I think that's much more important as a level. What you don't want to do is get into this and just start falling apart. And this would be that major level. And I'm not suggesting that you're going to come in 1% today, but you could. You're due. I'm going to leave it there. I also think this is important because you've been battling it right here as well. And you can see that battle right there. So that's going to give us more of I'm not going to get rid of that, but that's really going to give us more of a band right in there, isn't it? Okay. It would have been much cooler if the band worked when I did that. So, like I think that's how I would view that sucker. Like more of a band that's in that area. And I won't go over any names. I'll just take questions from you guys so that we have the time to spend together. Yay. Yeah, let's just do it that way. I think that's a better use of the time today. And I'll try to get to everybody. I don't know, man. It just seems to me that there's a lot of stuff that could go wrong. And, I do think it's interesting that you're getting dissension. Like, if you haven't listened to Bloomberg today, and I usually don't listen to the news. If I do, I listen to Bloomberg. I never listen to CNBC unless they have a guest on. Then I will. But it's just too much of like, whatever they want the message to be. I'm so over it. Just like report financial stuff. I don't know that you need that. I really like the way it's set up here. I really like some of the reporting that's done on Bloomberg. I think they do a good job with the guests and asking the right questions. I can see why Waller started breaking down the unemployment rate by category. Go ask somebody that graduated college how hard it is to find a job right now. And they're talking about that a lot. And the reason is not because they don't want to hire, because it's more that they don't know what they're doing. And like the companies don't know what's happening with tariffs. And he explains it. I think he did. Look, he wants Powell's job, obviously. But I think he did a really good job of it, like really good job of it today. So that's where my head is with it, and we'll see. But let's see how this goes. But let's take questions today. Let's just do a bunch of questions, and I'll try to really get to everybody today. What's up, Kev? Good morning from Miami. How are you? Let's take a look, Kev. If we go and take a look at BA, I don't think you really have a care in the world here. I mean, you're just really working off the supply right in there. You notice how you're not really breaking down, you're just sitting there? That's really what you want to see, because all you're doing is just working off the supply of this area before you push higher. I don't see how that doesn't continue. I really don't. I don't see how that doesn't continue. So yeah, it's definitely something of interest. TOST. This is not one that I play. It's kind of wiki for me, where I don't like stocks that do this, Kevin, where you break out and fail. You break out and you fail. I'm off. I'm up off the open and I fail. I just don't like them. I don't see that really being a be all end all. And I get it. Like people have killed it with this thing, right? From where it was. And I know a lot of people, love this name Toast. I mean, I get it, but let's get rid of the bands because I'm going to confuse the bejesus out of everybody. And I do like I'm down, I'm holding the VWAP, and then I flip it, right? And then, I get it, it's there, but you try it a couple times, and then finally, pardon me, what? So I think it's good, but I don't know. Do you really want to buy into that? Probably not. I don't think you want to buy into that. Yeah, I don't really play with these penny stocks. I mean, I wish everybody well with them. I know you guys are killing it with it right now. No, I think it's a pig. I mean, I think it's just a matter of time before it comes back down to like pig earth, and you're back to 50 cents. So no, maybe you get a pop on it, maybe you don't. But I mean, it's just, don't be there when the music stops. I mean, it's like literally the worst business model of all time. So, um, it is what it is. They were buying houses. They didn't even make money doing it. It was ridiculous. So can it squeeze? Maybe. I mean, just don't be there when the music stops, dude. Yeah, I saw that. I saw this, and it's super interesting because all these little guys hit. Not that. Where is it? SRM. Um, what? Which one was it? Like, uh, I'll have to find it. All these was it? Is it this one too? There were all these little like AMS. I gotta find them. I have a list of all these little micro miners, and I don't really pay attention to them. But I run all these scans over the weekend, and they were all blowing up. Um, there's definitely something here that's of interest with the miners. School rule of thought is just buy Newmont. I tend to not do these trades because you're always like one day away from like something like this where I never understood what happened. So I just always stayed away from them. And I just found like wait till they absolutely like if you really want to play it, if you just wait until it blows up for some reason and they never think you need a miner again, then I buy it. I never really bought the breakouts of this. I also, just to be candid, I never really bought the breakout of gold. I played with it a little bit, but I was really of the camp like you want to avoid this stuff. And you get these, reversal bars, and you see them all the time um, in gold, and then you can't break them. And like you could be here for years, and everyone's like, "Oh no, we need." Do you? I mean, a lot of money's going into crypto right now. So, do you think that governments are going to start doing that? Maybe, maybe they are. So, we'll have to see how that goes. But no, I don't. I'm not feeling that at all. Um, yeah, I mean, I do think shippers can move here. Pardon me. I don't know why I'm so tired. I do like shippers. I love buying this. I'm hoping it blows up again into earnings, so I can buy more cheaper. Um, I do love these names, but then you start looking at the tankers. They're starting to turn. I, I don't know, man. You got a lot of moving parts over there, like a lot. And every time you think it's going to go one way, it's going another way. We've been told this war was going to end, in 24 hours, and we're still there. And now we've got two wars. So, I don't know. I don't know that it's something. I think you have so much geopolitical risk with this stuff, man. That like, is it worth it? Like, is it? Is it really worth it? I'm not so sure. I'm just not. I'm not so sure. Yeah, I think this kind of stuff makes a lot of sense if you can find the right ones. But yeah, this makes a ton of sense. I should actually be all over this thing. I don't know that I want to do it in the earnings, but left, head, right, neckline, boom. I don't know that I want to do it into earnings. I got 2 weeks, right? Founder just died. Um, so you're starting to set up here. Um, there's some of these names that I think are definitely worth paying attention to. I really think that space is really starting to shape up again after coming in pretty hard, right? And you can see it the up, down, over, retest. It's always that seems like it's that second one lately. They're all turning. Getting ready for all that M&A. SRPT, I mean, man, that's just brutal. It really is. Like, man, they couldn't get out fast enough. And I guess, I don't know. I guess they didn't like what they had to say last night. I don't know. That's a brutal chart, man. Brutal. So they just don't, I guess management's just a dumpster fire overall. I don't know. I guess they did a secondary. Is that what we're dealing with this morning? You can't blame them. I mean, they need money, right? Is that what they did? Did they do a secondary or price a secondary at 535? So, and you're underwater. So you just want to make sure that that's all. That's what happens with these names. I mean, it's just that you're always just one question away from, or one moment away from doing a secondary. So if you can't get over 535, I mean, why bother? Did they up? Did they have to upsize it at all? Was there an upsize to it? Did they even announce that they were doing it, or it just came in this morning and they did it? Oh, they just came out and said, "Hey, by the way, we're doing this." Oh, that's kind of good because that means that's why people are selling it. You still, I mean, 17% are still short. So, yeah, I think they're going to see some panic with those people, but I don't know, man. They're going to panic a little bit, right? All those people. But if you're short, you're going to cover. Hmm. It's interesting, isn't it? Because you just stopped dead. Uh, uh. Oh, you just moved. You won't even let me buy it. Okay. Let's see how much you'll let me buy. You won't even film me. Okay. Give me a second. Yeah, I mean, to me, like what you really need to do there is you got to get over the once you get over that price point, 535, which I think you will. Once you get over that and people get used to why it's down and understand that it's already priced, and you got a million to cover on the short side, I mean, what are you waiting for? So you could actually have a really interesting day here, and wind up moving on that. I do find these kinds of trades super interesting because you have to think like the short, like you went home, you're in tears, like your whole life's ruined, and then you come in and now you're down $2. Like, yeah, you thought it was a zero, but you've got a reprieve. You might take it, but you're going to have to get to that 535 first. And there's 4 million shares there. And that's a pretty big size for this. So I would just make sure that, I find it interesting. I'll leave it at that. Julian. Sophie, there's not much to say. Like there's what I bought more than NVIDIA yesterday. Like there's not much to say. Buy it. Go for it. I just think you need to start watching how much this stuff is off its 12-day moving average. Sound. I really don't have any interest in this trade. KC, coffee futures, Microsoft Cloud Holding Limited. I don't even know what this thing is, man. Kingsolve. Jesus, might be time for LASIK. Now, I like the way that thing looks. Yeah, it seems to be that way. Well, it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me for them to buy NVIDIA because if they think the market's going higher, to start buying the leaders, right? Like it just makes sense. Um, let's see. Happy Friday. Yeah, I think you really have to just watch here, Lise. And I really think you have to think about that. Like, how are you going to act at 12:18? Like, how are you going to act at the 55? And maybe put a little alert there so that you're aware of it. That's how I would do it. Oh, I think you're 225, 250, like all day long. Like, I don't even think it's I don't even think it's a question. I don't even think it's a question. No, I was listening to Bloomberg, a good thing. I wouldn't touch FICO. I mean, I know people like it. I looked at CRISPR today because I wanted to see what was going on there. Um, I don't really want to buy it when it's up 4. I guess there's news this morning. I don't know if I actually caught it. There's so much news on so many different names, but I do like it here. I just have to really kind of settle into it before I get involved. But I do like it. Going for what? I have no idea. I don't know enough about them to speak intelligently about it. This kind of stuff. I don't know why it's moving the way it is. Maybe somebody finally, figured it out. And, maybe it's been because of all the quantum stuff. I have no idea. There's so many of these little names that are moving right now. And I have no idea why this is doing what it's doing. I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even begin to explain to you why that's doing what it's doing. That there are millions and millions of shares outstanding, and it's very clear, that people want to be in it, and every day you're going higher, and you'll go higher until one day you don't. You know what I mean? And that's all I can tell you about it. I really don't have anything else to say. They're probably playing it in the room. It's not really my kind of trade. So, see what happens with it and go from there. What's up, Jeffrey? We went through NVIDIA. Um, I don't know if it'll sell off on earnings. I don't have a clue. I mean, they want to own it. You needed to flip like this movement that you were fortunate enough to grab. This day. I mean, that was just the home run trade. And then you did the undercut like you were going to break, and then that was it, right? And then you never looked back ever. I I don't know. I kind of like it here, but I think you really need to pay attention to it and make sure that it's actually going to go. Um, they seem to be doing this slow grind up on these leading names, and then the question really is like, is that what they're going to do? Are they just going to grind these suckers up? And I don't really have a clue, but they might do that. They might grind them up. Knack, I don't know anything about it. I mean, no. Yeah, well, I've been in the video for like freaking ever. I don't think I'm ever going to get out of that. Like, there's no reason to. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's a great time to sell Netflix puts, or maybe it's going to go right in our face. I mean, I don't know. I'm of that camp too. Like, I want to sell puts today on it, but do I, or am I going to wind up with stock? Like I don't know. Where were the 1,200? Where the 12? Where the 1,200 puts close? So it's going to take a look. I love when we can do stuff together. Where'd they close versus where are they now? Let's go take a look at that and see if we can figure that out. Yeah, I mean $10. I mean, where are they going to open? One? Yeah, I mean, what are you going to get for them? I think it depends on how much you actually get for them. I mean, like if you got five or something like that, sure, maybe, but you have to see. Etor, I'm staying away from that dude. That thing is so freaking thin. Like, I mean, it's just a nightmare to trade. Like, I tried this day. It was just a freaking nightmare. I couldn't even get out of it. I'm like, no, I'm good. So, I'm not going near it. Um, bum, 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 bum. So we'll see how this goes. But what else do we have here? It's of interest. Uh-uh. Yeah, I did see that. Do you think that's going to be allowed to happen? Circle's fine. I mean, there's very little to say about it. It keeps giving me this stuff. I don't know why. It's clear it off, and then we'll click here. Um, do you think they're actually going to allow that to happen? You know, I saw that. Over the weekend makes a lot of sense. Do I want to get involved in this? Well, it's going to be the thing about it is it's going to be all stock, right? So the question really becomes like, do you want to own this? Do you really want to get involved with it? You know, I don't know, man. Like I don't know how I feel about that. It's crazy what this thing's done over the years. But I don't know, man. Like I don't know that I really want to do that and get involved with it. I think I want to see it price and then go from there. Yeah, I wouldn't follow me into silver or gold. A circle's going a lot higher. The question really is, do you need to buy it now? Um, we had a nice trade on it, like a really nice trade on it, and we'll see. Let me see this stuff. Go through this. I wonder. I wonder if that's going to go on that. No, wake me here. Circle's going to go a lot higher. People don't get that yet at all. San Diego's beautiful. Hello from Miami. RKLB, all those names. I mean, so um, I don't know how this is going to go today. I think it's a little different than how these are going to go today, right? Like ACR, is coming in, Jobley's coming in. Like, that's not usually how this stuff ends. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know that I'd be playing that stuff yet. Thank you for the opportunity. I have a lot of thoughts. I screwed this trade up yesterday. I was too busy um, trading some other things, but I screwed this up big time because I actually, well, it's hard to complain. I bought Circle and crushed it, but like um, this at 55, whenever you see these words upsize and it holds that secondary level, you want to be long. So I like it, but I like it at 55. I think CVNA, like I'm just going to say this. I I actually think that this thing's going to come in hard, but I want to say something. What I'm seeing happen with inflation is that cars are not coming here. There's two really big things that are going on in the car industry right now. Number one, production's cut back drastically, right? That's coming in the US because of what's going on with tariffs. It just is. Number two, um, and this is just factual. Number two, the cars that are coming in, they're marking up. Go look at Porsche because they're in demand. So, like, Porsche has marked up their base 911 for the first time in 4 months. I think it's 4 months or 6 months twice. Like, they've never done it before. There's that much demand because it's not a hybrid or it's not an EV. So if you're a hybrid car, they're not even being bought. Nobody wants the hybrids. I'm not saying this to like annoy the hippies. I'm just telling you. So they're not buying the EVs and they're not buying the hybrids. If you go look at if you literally go look, you can always find out what's going on with the car market by go look at the high end stuff, right? And you go to this website. Let me find it for you because I'm going to end on this note. But if you go and take a look at the ultra high end market on used cars, it's exploding because all the other ones, like all the high end exotic stuff, they all came in and they're all doing, they all did these stupid hybrids. Like nobody wants to spend $300,000 on a hybrid, and that's why, like, if you really follow this market at all, that's like why the SF90 is like collapsing, like the Ferrari model. And that's why, like the new Lamborghini, like nobody wants it. Everyone's buying Huracans before you can't get them. So what's this mean, and why do you care about this? I'll show you why you care about it. Because they have an inventory, right? And this is why I think, even though that the technicals are telling me like it's bad, I think this is why we're not going to, like, because you have the divergence. I think this is why you're not going to fall out of bed. So this is from just go to Manheim, and you can literally just type this in. But you see how this is starting to creep up. And this is why I think that Waller might be wrong about cutting rates. But you see, this is starting to creep up, and it's been kind of creeping up. So the value of a car that's on their lot is going up in value. So if you own something and it's a depreciating asset, you want to get it off the lot faster, right? That just makes sense. But if you bought a car on average here and then it starts going up in value or sideways, and you know how to buy cars right, which these guys know how to buy cars right, well, you're making money by the car sitting on the lot. So when you go and sell the car, what's happening with all these companies, and I'm surprised that AN's doing this right now, but like, this might actually be worth paying attention to. Actually, I'm going to go find out why it's doing what it's doing. Maybe they pre-announced. But My thought on this is, and I'm spending a lot of time on it because it's super important because it's tied to it's actually tied to inflation and everything. I don't know how cars are going to drop in value, like unless demand goes away, and I don't see that because of the production that's going on out there. Um, I think you could reverse yourself from a technical standpoint. I think your trade's super easy. I think this is your trade, man. I think this is the cat's bananas. Can I say cat's bananas? That doesn't work, does it? It's got to be pajamas, cat's pajamas. But there's your bar, and that's everything. And you see how every single wick and every single open and close is in that bar? Whatever way that bar goes, I think that's what you have to focus on. That's where my head would be with it. So I'm going to leave it on that note. But I think that I don't think that's their business. I would go look at their business a little closer. Oh, is that what they're doing? I own these. I own both of them, but whatever. I don't think that's their business. I'd go look at their business a little closer. Yeah, I mean, you want like they don't want those cars. Like it's not even that, but they don't even want them on like the low or medium end. They're like, if you want an EV, you want an EV. Like you don't like these hybrids. We're going to ease people into it. Whatever, dude. There's nothing wrong. Like go buy an EV. I got friends that own Teslas. They freaking love it. I have a friend that just bought a what did he buy? He just bought a Plaid. It's like he freaking loves it. The thing's fast as crap. Like it's super fast, and he loves the car. Um, and I mean, it's very nice. So I get it, but I don't. I think the hybrid market, I think was a huge mistake. Like huge. Like either do it or don't do it. Right. A lot of analogies I could use there, but I'll keep it clean. All right, that's it. Have a good weekend, guys.